since it's breakfast time. Emotional eating. You know, if you come from, I got an Italian background, not all of my family, but a chunk of it, Italians. And, you know, they're happy, you make food. This is not untrue. Every stereotype is based on a degree of fact. You're happy, making a lot of food. You're sad, there's a funeral, let's make more food. You're going through a stressful time. Manja, let's eat. It's normal. Now, eating the right things, okay, that can mitigate. Otherwise, you're just going to, you balloon up. Emotional eating, though, there's something tied to the emotions that Italians have with food. It's a fact. Maybe the French too, but to a different extent. What about when you're just on edge and you just feel like, I got to eat. I want my favorite junk food. This happens a lot. We know that it can have a negative effect, but now we're able to measure this. Apparently, in your hair, you can measure long-term level of the stress hormone cortisol. You've seen the commercials about this, and researchers confirming a link between stress, cortisol, and packing on the pounds. And you can see in someone's hair, you got a lot of life in your hair. It may be a dead thing coming out of your head, but you got a lot of what you are in your hair, drugs, whatever. Well, now we're learning more. John Edmonson, licensed professional counselor, wellness specialist, back on our show. John, good morning.
Good morning, Dave. Glad to be here with you.
I want to say, hey, let's eat. Let's have something nice this morning. Let's get the day off to a good start. But we're going to talk about emotional eating here and being able to track this through cortisol. Do you buy into this? Is it the latest thing in your mind?
It's the latest thing. It's, you said it really great, Dave. It's something we've known for a long time. And as a fellow Italian, definitely food is, based around everything you do. And when we're younger, we're told, it'll be okay. Have some ice cream. It's okay. Let's go get something to eat. So it's part of our nature. Cortisol is a link to it, but it's not necessarily the only factor. A lot of it is the behavior we've been taught over time. And what it's really trying to do is our body is trying to help us.
Yeah.
And sometimes it gets it right, sometimes it gets it wrong. So it's all about instincts we've had since the beginning of time to help us get through stressful situations.
Yeah, so this fight or flight thing, the fight or flight thing that we have that saves our lives frequently can also work against us too, is what you're saying?
Exactly. I mean, thank goodness we have the fight, flight, or freeze because that's how we survive. Imagine if we didn't, we'd be in more car accidents than we already are and more trouble than we already are. But what happens is when it becomes a habit, then you're in trouble. If you're always in fight, flight, or freeze, all that blood goes away from your digestive system, goes out to your arms, goes out to your legs, because your body thinks you need to survive and defend itself.
Got it.
Then you're not able to eat or take care of yourself or necessarily think very clearly.
All right, so, here's an easy one. How do you shut that off?
How do you turn that on?
Yeah,
That's a piece of cake.
Yeah, how do you shut that off if it's not doing you any favors here, and you're reacting to it by hitting the food instead of channeling another way? How do you channel another way or shut it off? Is it possible?
Well, a little bit. Some of that's going to be normal and healthy, so you don't want to completely turn the key off.
I got it.
But there are ways to manage it. And so when you're feeling that stress, because there is healthy and unhealthy stress, helpful and unhelpful stress, channel it, like you said. So it could be exercise, but it doesn't have to be going to the gym for an hour. It could be just as simple as, walking fast down the hallway, doing some push-ups, doing jumping jacks on a break. Taking just 2 or 3 minutes, well, just 1 minute, and breathe deeply, where you inhale and then exhale for an extended amount of time. Because also within our body, our instinct, when we exhale for a long period of time, it activates the parasympathetic nervous system. And that's kind of like the brakes inside of our body. So when you're in fight, flight, or freeze, the sympathetics kicking in, that's the gas. And you notice it in your breathing. You go, when you're shocked or surprised.
Right.
But if you want to tell your body naturally calm down, it's okay, then you exhale. And we've all done that when we've felt relief anyway. But now you're kind of giving that command to your body, breathe out and let that stress dissipate a little bit for you.
John, I remember when I was in college and working 2-3 different jobs, going to school, stress was crazy, juggling girlfriend, maybe 2 girlfriends at the time. Yeah. And, so you get the idea. I go to the gym and I would hit the speed bag, okay? And, through the boxing routine. And people say, well, doesn't that just get you more worked up and worked out? I said, no, I get done and I feel like I'm tired, but I'm completely relaxed. Sometimes there are things you can do even in that workout routine or something that you feel like you're pushing back with normal fight or flight, but you're actually dissipating it at the same time. I don't know if it works for everybody the same. I'm just giving, a personal example.
I think it's a great example, and it's true because you're getting your heart rate up, you're getting that stress and that tension
out.
out,
It sure did.
and you're exerting it. Yeah, I'm sure. And that's the key is your body's getting this cortisol, and that's potential, that's energy, that's something to do. Or if all the blood goes, away from your digestion to your arms, that's potential, and your body wants to do something with it. And when it can't do anything with it, that's when you get into trouble. So that's when you're trying to now manage that. That's when you start reaching for the food because you're trying to calm yourself down somehow. But if you can put it into something like you did, then you're actually going to feel that difference. You're going to feel better and relieved. And that's the natural cycle of stress.
John, don't get me wrong. I still went out and had a hamburger later, okay? Because I had a nuclear-powered metabolism. Okay, but that could be. I was trying to, there was no perfection going on back then. But I think some of the suggestions you're making, especially if you're beyond college age, these all make sense. And the idea that we can track this in the human hair, I'm always amazed now. And I suppose the guys who are completely bald, and it's, drug test not working there either. Maybe it's all very clever that they've done, but the human hair and the ability to get this kind of, it's like you're looking at a way back machine, but it's a lot of information scientifically in the human hair, isn't there?
Yeah, it is. And our whole body, our body is really, it's a map to what's going on with us. So just like you said, in the human hair, we can see this. We can see what's going on with the stress. And that's why we take blood, because we can actually see your history, know what you've been eating, know what's been going on in your life, just by examining those things.
Yeah, there it is.
It's fascinating what science can do. Yeah,
it is. There's no question about it, though. Channeling. So take something away here. How you channel it. The stress is going to be there. We all have it, different degrees. Doesn't mean yours is like mine, but it's still there. The cortisol is triggered. It's a stress hormone. Channeling it is the key, and not channeling it into junk food automatically. John Edmonson, licensed professional counselor. John, where do we find you online?
It's going to be at marulamedical.com, and that's MARULA medical.com.
John, thanks for being here very much.
It's a pleasure. Thank you, Danny.
All right, 1320. This is the Morning Wake Up. WILS.